Hey, this is Helen Midas from HypnoFit, and many of you may have seen my previous posts where I mentioned recently that I actually did put on a bit of weight of late, and that was because, no excuse really, but the reason that I gave was that the last couple of months I've been traveling a lot. So I've traveled to the United States in a couple of different cities for my presentations on hypnotherapy. And the moment I got back, literally within days, I had to fly to the Gold Coast to do my 5-day retreat for hypnotherapists. And during the last couple of months, I have actually put on quite a bit of weight. And the reason that that happened was because I wasn't consciously watching what I was eating. I wasn't weighing myself either. So for me, it is important to weigh myself. Now, I don't agree that you should weigh yourself every day, because that could really do your head in, because you could make some really good choices, but it's not reflected in the next day's weight. So I do not agree to weighing yourself on a daily basis. However, I really do think that a great strategy is to weigh yourself once a week. And whilst I was away the last couple of months, I wasn't weighing myself. And so when you don't weigh yourself, your head is in the sand and you think that you're doing okay, but all of a sudden your clothes are feeling tighter and tighter. You're feeling a little bit more uncomfortable than you did the previous week. And then I came back to Melbourne and I weighed myself, and I, shock horror, had put on something like 7 kilos, which is astronomical for me. And many of you would know that I'm not a very tall person. I'm not short, but I'm not tall. I'm only 163 centimeters, so 7 kilos is a lot of weight for a little girl like me. And so the first thing that I did was take instant action. And so one thing I know how to do is lose weight, and lose weight without being hungry. I don't do hunger very well at all. I don't like the feeling of feeling hungry, and not in the process of denying myself food. So I don't do that. I don't deny myself food by feeling hungry or starving myself so that I could drop kilos. I don't do that. So what is my mission? My mission is to feel comfortable in my own skin and to fit comfortably in my clothes so that I feel good about myself, so that I feel light, I feel in control, and I feel that I've got this. I'm feeling healthy and fit. And so that's really important for me. It's important for me to feel healthy and fit, comfortable in my own skin, and to be able to wear my clothes and know that I look okay in them, as opposed to feeling really tight. So what have I done since I have been back? I have gone into instant action, which means that straight away I go into my rules about what I can and can't do. Now, rule number 1 is that I only eat when I'm hungry. Now, I know this is counterintuitive to a lot of people, because they think they need to eat at breakfast time, lunchtime, and dinner time at a certain time. So with regards to hunger, if you only eat when you're hungry, think about this: you would never carry extra weight, because what we're doing when we're carrying extra weight is eating more than we actually need. Otherwise we wouldn't be carrying extra weight. So I found that the last couple of months I was eating when I wasn't hungry, simply to give myself energy to do what I needed to do. So rather than find other ways of giving myself energy, I would use food as that source. You don't need to do that. So number 1 rule is only eat when you're hungry. When you're actually feeling those hunger pains is the only time you should be eating. And as an example, a few nights ago, I wasn't hungry at dinner time. So everybody else in my household ate, but I didn't. I sat there at the table with them and I didn't eat. That was because I wasn't hungry. And so don't eat when you're not hungry. Listen to what your body is telling you, and only eat when you are hungry. Only eat when you are hungry. The second rule that I have is that portion control, I believe, is so important. So the moment that you feel satisfied, stop eating. The moment you feel satisfied, stop eating. Not the moment you feel full, the moment you feel satisfied, stop eating. And my third rule is to eliminate all simple carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates, we're talking bread, we're talking pasta, we're talking noodles, we're talking pizzas, we're talking anything that is not giving your body the energy that it needs. Instead, it's just storing as fat. So they're my three big rules. So I'll just go over that again. So the first one is don't eat at all when you're not hungry. Secondly, stop eating when you're satisfied and not full. And thirdly, eliminate simple carbohydrates from your diet. If you do this, you will lose weight without feeling hungry. Now, if you are interested in having a chat with us here at HypnoFit, what we can do is help you and help you make the right decisions at the subconscious level. So you're not self-sabotaging, so you're not getting in your own way, and we remove those unhelpful patterns that you've been doing all your life. And that's what hypnotherapy is for. So if you are interested, just give us a call on 1300 797 622, 1300 797 622, and we'll talk to you, complimentary chat, to find out where you are, what's going on for you, and how we can help. So then my three rules: only eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're feeling satisfied, not full, and eliminate those simple carbohydrates. You really don't need them. What you'll find is that the first day, if you're used to eating cereal for breakfast, which is not a great food to have for breakfast, if you're used to eating that for breakfast, you may crave it the first couple of days, but once you stop eating it, you won't want it anymore. So for breakfast, what I have is yogurt with a teaspoon of psyllium husk, which helps you be regular, and a teaspoon of flaxseed oil. And that's a really good breakfast to have, okay? So lunch, I tend to have perhaps some salmon and veggies, and lunch and dinner, fish and veggies, in between a protein shake or a piece of fruit. But just being really mindful about when I'm feeling hungry and what's the best thing that I need to give my body. And that way, those kilos are going to start dropping off, which they already have. They start dropping off, and then I start feeling good about myself again. So do whatever it takes so that you can feel good about yourself, okay? So this is Helen from HypnoFit. See you later. Bye.